right, and we are back with SpeedGaming Live Marathon 2020. We are continuing the retro gaming block with Neutopia 2 by Vanny Van. Vanny Van, I am going to hand the floor over to you.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much. And yes, hello everyone. My name is Vonnie Vaughn. I'm going to be, we are doing a block inside of a block right now, where you're watching all of us here at Retro Gaming Live TV doing our block with Speed Gaming. But also, this is a TurboGrafx 16 block. You just saw my man Bald Nate do Ninja Spirit, and you saw the incomparable Glitch Witch do a fantastic run of Pac-Land. I'm going to keep the TurboGrafx 16 love going here with a run of Neutopia 2. We'll be doing the 100% category, and I'll be talking about that as I go along, so you know what that's all about. But before we get started, I am going to be naming my main character, and I will do it right after I press start. So if you could give me one final refresh and let me know what that name is going to be, I would appreciate it.
All right, so after doing my final refresh, it looks like our character name will be Ness.
Ness? Okay. Very good.
Capital N-E-S-S.
Right on. Okay. Well, then, I am going to go ahead and get started here in 3, 2, 1, and now. Alrighty. Capital N-E-S-S. There we go. Alrighty. So here we go. We start out with some lore. We see this hero here named Jazeta failing very miserably to slay this Kraken. And then all of a sudden, we see this boy standing here with a shield, watching some lady sleep. I guess it's just how things are. She actually just had a terrible dream, and the dream was actually about this young man's father, the aforementioned Jazeta that we just saw go down to that Kraken monster. Jazeta was the hero of Neutopia the first time around. Unfortunately, he has gone missing, and nobody has seen him for an entire year. So this lady said, you need to go out to the Urias Shrine and find out what's going on with your dad. Here's a charmed compass that we will never use in the speedrun. And go on, boy. Do your thing. Alright, so before we do our thing, we got to make a little pit stop in here. Have a quick chat with this gentleman. And we are going to pick up boom bombs. We will talk plenty about those throughout the run. As well as medicine. And medicine simply is a single-use item that refills your life on demand. Now, one thing I want to make sure that I mention before we get started here, the soundtrack in this game is outstanding, and this first track is no exception. Now, one thing that we have to be very, very mindful of in this game is enemy drops, because we're going to need a lot of them. And of course, there's plenty of RNG involved in this. The first thing that we really, really need here is money. Specifically, we need 300 gold before we get to the first, town of the game. We need that because... Oh, there's 50. We need that because there is a very, very important weapon that we need to buy in there that costs 300 gold, so we want to make sure we have it. Now, one nice thing, though, about the enemies in this game, is that they have very specific drop tables. They have a common, a rare, a common and uncommon, and a rare drop. So 3 each. And if you know what each enemy drops, it allows you to not waste time focusing on enemies that aren't going to give you what you need. So like these slimes can drop 10, 50, or even 100 coins. So I got 60 there. Now these pigs can not only drop 50 coins, but they can drop bombs. Unfortunately, they didn't. So we'll have to deal with that. So that's the entrance to the first crypt there, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. But the first thing I'm doing here is I'm talking to this gentleman, and what he's going to do is he's going to refill my, he's going to give me an extra segment of life. This is nice for safety, but it's also part of the 100% category that we need to satisfy. In order to do that, we need to pick up all permanent items, all sword, shield, and armor upgrades, and then all life capacity and bomb capacity upgrades. So there's quite a bit of collection that we need to do here. Now, one thing that I'm about to demonstrate here is just how crazy damage boosting is in this game. Watch this. I'm going to walk right into this room, and then boom, instantly get popped in the opposite direction. You always get hit in the direction opposite of what you're facing, and we're going to use this several times throughout the run to our advantage. Cool, there's another 60 bucks. You love to see it. Now, we took the time to kill those slime enemies because not only can they drop 50 coins, but they can drop bombs. Bombs, as you can see here, are used primarily to blow open holes in certain walls. Oh my god, I got 2 bomb drops. Only needed 1. I can only really use 1. But that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Here's our first armor upgrade. There's 3 upgrades for each piece of equipment with the exception of the sword, where there will be 4. Oh, can't really hear any game audio. Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a good time to adjust that. Loop?
I'm rather surprised that you don't take damage from your own bombs.
Yeah, it is very nice. Yeah, so you can just kind of stand there right in the smoke and then just walk right through as you go. This is another thing you can do with bombs, is you can kill enemies very quickly here, which is why... Oh, nice, another 50. Which is why getting that... pack of bombs when I did was super nice. Okay, let me see if I can do something here. Oh no. Oh, dang it. Hold on a second. You know, we're going to take a couple of seconds here, not only to do this, but then also... yeah, hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about that. My controller kind of died on me there, so I had to just switch it real quick. Which is unfortunate because this controller, unfortunately, does not do great with diagonals. Even worse than a TurboGrafx 16 controller normally does. So that's going to make this a little more challenging. I'll try to switch back to the other controller. Oh, I need that. Try to switch back to the other controller at a time that is convenient, but that just happens sometimes. Alright, we gotta kill these guys. We want to drop from them that unfortunately we didn't get. Oh well. Alright, so he just tells us that we need to just blow open the wall here on the right and go on through. Alright, we're gonna drop a couple more bombs to kill these guys real fast. Come on. Thank you. Alright. So now we have our first boss. This is Mecha Worm. Hello? Uh-oh. Oh, that's weird. Okay. This boss is really a pain to deal with because it pops out of the ground in random places and at random angles. There is no pattern to this boss, except for the timing of when it comes in and out. But that doesn't really help you. So this boss can be really rude because it can just pop out like right under your feet with zero warning, and you would have no way of knowing or being able to avoid it. This is one of the reasons why... One of the many reasons why we're doing the 100% category, because the any percent category is very, very much not marathon safe. So so we do 100% just because it's a lot easier to get through the game safely. Alright, so we have 230 gold. We're pretty close to where we need to be. So we need 70 more gold. We also would really love to see a bomb drop. There's 50 of the 70 I need. That is awesome. Let's go. Oh, there's 100. Alright, so good. So we're good on money. I don't need to concentrate on enemies that drop money anymore. What I do need now is bombs. And that's what these kind of pig soldiers can give me here. There's... Oh, beautiful. Alright, cool. And let's just do one more. See if I get another drop. I didn't. Okay, that's fine. That's not a big deal. Hello, diagonally, please. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Dog Developer is absolutely right. The music in this game is outstanding. So, so we finished the first crypt, and in it we were awarded the Chalice of Agony, which we're actually going to be using in just a second here. We're going to talk to this guy who says, whoa, you have the Chalice of Agony. Go ahead and use it, because it is going to do the following. It is going to appear. It is going to spew forth all of this freezing cold agony and turn the lava into ice, which is great because now we can just walk across it without lighting ourselves on fire. Alrighty, so at this point, we are walking into the first town of the game. And we've got two things we need to do in here. The first is we need to come into this door on the left. And we need to pick up a boomerang. This boomerang is, for most of the run, going to be an absolutely brutal assault weapon, especially on bosses. Now, this purple robe person is serves two purposes. One, they will refill your life when you talk to them, but also they will give you a password. Now, obviously, we don't even look at the password, but what it does is when you talk to one of them, it essentially sets it as a checkpoint. Throughout the game, we're going to be getting these usable items called wings. And what they will do is they will instantly teleport us from the overworld. They will instantly teleport us back to the last purple robe person that we have talked to. So it is a great way to save a whole bunch of backtracking in a couple of spots. So the first item that we're picking up here, the first staff that we're picking up here, there's going to be three. This is the fire staff. For those of you that are familiar with the first game, it is a returning item from that one. It has a lot of the same usefulness to it in that, you know, it burns down trees and rocks and allows you to, you know, open up pathways and whatnot. Unfortunately, it's not nearly as effective as a weapon in this game as it is in the first one. But that's what we have the boomerang for instead. Now, one very interesting property of the boomerang is such. I'm sure all of you are familiar with how a boomerang works. You throw it, and it comes back to you. Well, as I like to say when I run this game, with great power comes great responsibility. Because if you throw the boomerang, and it's coming back to you, and you are not in its return path, its flight path on its return, and it sails by you, it is gone. You lose it, and you don't get another one until you buy another one. So, you're going to see me when I use the boomerang. I'm going to be very deliberate in not only the placement of my character, but the direction that I'm facing. Because as long as I'm boosting in a particular direction and things are good there, the boomerang will come back to me, but I'm just not going to lose it. So the guy that I just talked to there with the blue toga, he is going to increase my bomb capacity. Normally, the maximum that I could hold was 8. Now I can hold 12. I'm going to get 2 more ultimately to bring that maximum all the way up to 20. Alright, so you saw me take a couple of pretty intentional damage boosts there. Twofold for that reason. One is that it allows me to move faster over, you know, small stretches. And the other is that the way that your fire wand outputs damage and its trajectory and whatnot is based on your current life total. I actually want to reduce it to 6 because the way that my fire wand is going to work now makes it much easier to control when I'm doing damage to certain enemies here, such as these kind of weird bat thingies here, who I hope drop wings. Please drop wings. Okay. That's all right. We do have opportunities later to get them. I see some of y'all clamoring for the Thunder Staff. So you get 3 staffs in this game. The Fire Staff is first, then you get the Wind Staff, and ultimately the Thunder Staff. The only one that's really of any use at all is the Fire Staff. The Wind Staff potentially has 1 application where it can be used, but that's about it. The Thunder Staff is just garbage. We will never see it in the run just because it's just so ineffective. Oh, so what I'm picking up here is a key. Each crypt is going to have one key that is unique to it, and you need to have that key in order to open the door to the boss's room. So we'll need to collect the key of the crypt in each one. That item that I left there is a ring. I've already got one. We will use it, but not until the very last crypt of the game. So I'm glad that I already have it, because it has a very specific use that is very, very useful. You need to come on back here, please. You've got to come on back here. Like, this is super rude. I can't... Come on. Thank you. Jeez. Unfortunately, my Fire Staff is not effective against those types of enemies. Oops. Yeah, I gotta be careful of these dagger blocks here. This is gonna be really interesting with compromised diagonals. Oh, boy. Alright. So, he's telling us, yep, you got to get the herb at the end of the script, which we will do shortly, but not before we... Please kill it, thank you. But not before we go to the end here and we pick up another upgrade. Alright, come on. I need wings, please. Please, wings. Oh, no. Alright, here we go. And bomb drops here would be rather welcome. Oh, these guys are being extremely uncooperative. Oh, you kidding me? Oh, that was a bomb drop. I like it. That was close. Alrighty, so in here we pick up our first sword upgrade. So now we have the first upgrade level for all of our arsenal. Weapon, shield, and armor. Alrighty. I really, really, really want to see one of you drop a set of wings. Please do it. Please do it. Please do it. Please do it. Yes! Good. Alright, we're out of here. Alrighty. So, if you haven't already gathered, there is a very, very heavy RNG element to this game. Not just with the item drops, but also with the bosses as well. We kind of talked about it with Mecha Worm, and we'll talk about it a little more here with this boss that I'm about to fight. But yeah, the RNG that you deal with in the bosses in this game, some of it is just brutal. So, alright, but first we gotta kill all these guys. There we go. Alright. Alright, so these are the twin maws, or the maggot maws, I believe they're called. They will only allow you to do damage to them when they hit the ground and they glow blue. Oh, please stay away from me. Okay, there we go. This should be death on that one. That's good. Okay, yeah. There we go. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. Very blue-looking bronze, indeed, yes. It's just the... Well, in the first Neutopia, all the bronze stuff is purple. So, I don't know. It's just the way it is. Alrighty, so we've completed Crypt 2. We've got our Manipular Herb. As soon as we touch the ground, we're going to use our wings, and that's going to teleport us over here, which is convenient because that herb that we just picked up in that last crypt needs to be used in this town here. Alrighty, and then there's a little bit of a lore dump here, and then when we're done with that... I'll probably kick it on over to you, our host. But give me just a minute here. First of all, let me turn this item on. Gotta talk to the guard real quick. And here's the princess. Use the herb. Alrighty. The princess is cured from whatever was ailing her. She sees that you are the son of Jazeta, Ness. And she says, look, we need to talk. Let's come on over here into the next room so that I can show you what I'm talking about. And what she wants to show you is this goddess statue. And basically what she's saying here is, the last time we knew of your father's whereabouts, he was consulting this goddess here for guidance. So perhaps, if you give her a Chalice of Agony as a tribute, she will show you the way. And the Chalice of Agony glows. It glows to the right. It goes left. It glows right again. And reveals a staircase. And we walk into it. Alrighty. Decent amount of walking coming up here. Not a whole lot going on. So, Metroid Master, if you have any donations, blurbs, or anything like that that you would like to dispense upon the masses, then please go ahead and do so.
So, unfortunately, I do not have any donations at the moment, but we do have a few incentives coming up soon. So, we have our Dragon Warrior Randomizer character choice. We also have, one moment, our Mickey Mousecapade system choice between the NES and the Famicom. We also have our Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers character choice and the Marble Madness Name the Character choice, with currently $20 sitting for balls.
Metroid Master, I have a series of questions for you. Let's say I'm sitting here watching this marathon on twitch.tv/SpeedGaming2, and I hear you talk about donations, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. How would I donate? What am I donating towards? And where can I find these incentives that you're talking about?
Okay, so if you would like to donate, you can use the !donate command in the chat to find information on your donation, subs, bits, and ad revenue. All of this will go towards the prize pot for next year's Speed Gaming Live, including your merchandise purchases from Matcherino. If you want to find your information on prizes, you can use your !prizes command in the chat. And then there's also !incentives to find your information on the incentives for the marathon, which also goes towards your prizes.
Thank you. Well done. That was awesome. All right, so we are about to head into crypt number 3 here. There's a really rude room here on the front end that can just be totally awful, and it's not going to be. Thank you so much for that. I picked up a couple bomb drops in there, which is really nice because the next 2 crypts require quite a few of them to get through. So the fact that I've got pretty much all the bombs that I need is a weight off of my mind. Alright. So we've got these Wizrobe-like enemies. I am now going to do my death-defying saw blade trick, where I walk right between them unscathed. Be impressed. We're going to use the damage boost there to boost under the enemy and then push him up, as opposed to keep, if I keep getting pushed back up, then I'm just going to keep getting caught in like a vicious loop there, and I'm just losing life for no good reason. Alright, so here's yet another guy who says, hey, go get the stuff and bomb open the wall next to me, and that's what we're gonna do. So this dungeon introduces these little kind of diamond plate tiles there that you see, and what they will do is they will trigger various things. In this case, what that did is it lowered that kind of brownish block that I'm about to walk over right now so that I could go in here and I can grab my second shield upgrade. Yo, weapon, thanks so much for the raid. Alrighty.
By the way, Vanny, do we have a quick moment?
Sure.
Alright, so unfortunately my time as a host is up for today, so I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to my friend GR Bo, who will be taking over the hosting duties for the next couple of hours.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, and we will see you on next mission.
Metroid Master, hello. SpeedGaming, nice to be here. How's the run going, Vanny?
It's going just fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Alrighty, glad to hear that. Alright, we've got our key for this crypt now. So, we're going to be coming up on the boss of this crypt soon. It's a boss called Weirtoad. This boss is going to be a fantastic example of that RNG that I was talking about before. Couple more rooms before we get there. Oh, shoot. Yeah, and another thing about the damage boost that you've noticed is that it probably knocked you back, what, a good, 4 tiles? The boost is so far, which is why not taking them when you don't want to can be really bad, because, it just costs a decent amount of time to have to walk back, but then also there's the potential to just keep taking damage in the meantime. So we try to avoid it as much as possible. Alright, here we go. Room before the boss. Just 2 more of these wizard enemies to deal with. Oh, disappeared before I got to kill it. Okay. Alright, so here we go. Go in the door, please. Alright, so here's Weirtoad. Weirtoad can do one of 3 attacks. It can do this tongue lash attack. It can do that same tongue lash attack. Or it can do this golden brain attack. While it's doing the gold... Oh, wow. Blessed. Okay, here's the deal. So it can do a tongue lash attack. It can do another one where it throws out these kind of little tongue spores at you. Or it can do what I like to call the golden brain. The golden brain cycle is the only one during which it can... during which you can do damage to it. Now... which one of those 3 it does is completely random. So that boss can... And you saw, I got 2 of the golden brain cycles and it was done. Now, you can potentially kill that boss in 2 cycles if it gives you 2 golden brains right off the bat. You can take over 30 cycles to kill it because it just doesn't want to show you the second golden brain until, forever. So, yeah. That boss can be absolutely heinous, but it was extremely nice to me in this run here. Where we are at right now is a place that I like to refer to as Dope Beat Cave, for reasons which should be rather obvious. Also hoping to get... I already got 1 bomb drop from these guys, I think, so that means I'm going to be good for the next crypt. Oh, in case you were wondering about money drops, because I was talking about how I needed it for the boomerang, and then that was it. So, I don't really need money for the rest of the run. There would only be 2 exceptions to that. One would be if I lost my boomerang early on, and I needed to make a stop in another shop to buy a second one. Or, if when I'm using a particular weapon that I'm actually going to be getting in the next crypt that requires 10 gold every time you use it. That's not what I'm picking up here. What I am picking up here is an extremely important item. These are the Falcon shoes. You're going to notice right away, as soon as I walk away from this chest, my movement speed has basically doubled. This is going to be extremely important for going fast throughout the rest of the run. That should be self-explanatory, I would imagine. It is the canon name, Dog Developer, because I have made it so. I am the High Prophet of Neutopia. Alrighty. A couple of items we just need to pick up here, just as kind of a cleanup for satisfying the 100% category. We're going to make a little detour here. And then this guy is going to give me the wind staff. I was talking about the 3 staffs earlier. This is the second of them. This will basically just look pretty in our inventory, and that's about it. All right. And then back in the town where we just kind of passed through on our way here, we got to shove this clock out of the way. And then we come up in here and we pick up an item called the Moonbeam Moss. This is actually a returning item from the first game as well. It is a item that you can use. It has infinite charges actually, and it will light up dark rooms in dungeons. However, because there are so few dark rooms that we encounter in here, and the ones that we do encounter are pretty easy to deal with, you're never going to see me use it. But again, like I was saying about the wind staff, we got to collect some stuff like this to make sure that we have satisfied the 100% category. That is a true statement, Jiggly saying. Oh, that was close. Alrighty, so you can see we're in a pretty cold section of the game. So we've got some icy stuff coming up. I think you might all know what that means. Oh, some already got it. Before we get in there, we have to burn this tree, and what happens to be right in our way is this guy who is going to give us more bomb capacity. This is extremely convenient because we're going to be coming up on a section of the game where we are going to need to use a very high number of bombs in a very concentrated area. So the more that we can potentially hold, the better off we're going to be. So you see me slipping and sliding around on this ice. I'm going to pop in here because, hey, look, here's an item. I got to collect it for 100%, right? Well, this is something I'm going to collect anyway because these are the snow boots. And you know what they do? They completely nullify all ice physics. So we had to deal with it for, what, like 3 screens? And then we're done. Pretty nice. Alrighty. So now here we go on to crypt number 4. Yo, Bug Doctor, thank you so much for that raid. Much appreciated, my friend. This game was actually made by Hudson Soft. They were the main kind of in-house software developer for the TurboGrafx 16. Ah, jeez. Alrighty. So what you're seeing me using here, this little kind of shimmery bridge as I'm going over those tiles, that is the result, hello, of an item that I picked up at the end of the previous crypt, which was called the Rainbow Drop, another returning item from the first game. And it serves as a way to bridge one-tile gaps immediately as I encounter them. But before we really progress in this crypt here, we are going to pick up a rather useful upgrade here. This is the Silver Sword. The damage output bonus that you get from this is pretty nice. So while of course we have to pick it up for 100%, it's something that I would do in any percent anyway, just because it's that useful. Alright, dodge the saw blades. Here we go. Dodge the mummies. Go away. Oh, big agree, Jiggly. Would love to see a remake, a sequel. So what you just saw there is another thing that these kind of these plates on the ground can do is they can turn up some spikes on the ground that will be very annoying to deal with. Hello, thank you. Ah, yes, okay. I needed a set of wings before I left this crypt. I had 8 chances to get them, and on the first one, I get it, which is absolutely beautiful. Alright, slight detour here to pick up a weapon called the Flail. This is the item that I was referring to earlier that costs you 10 gold every time you use it. The Flail is a rather weak and not terribly useful weapon, with one major exception, and I will be sure to point that out when we get to it. Mostly by way of using the weapon that I'm talking about. There is a randomizer for the first Neutopia. Yes, that is true. There is one that was developed actually pretty recently by some wonderful folks like Jiggly Saint and Sveneroth, both of whom I've seen here in chat. My friend Conkers was also a big part of that, so big shout-outs to all of them. I contributed just some, like, you know, words. Nothing really tangible, but, you know. Anyway. Alright, we're about to fight the boss here. Now, this boss coming up, his name is Roboid. This is one of the exceptions to the rule when it comes to RNG. I'm going to basically be able to completely manipulate this boss, which is very nice. So we're going to stand over here to its left, right at about shoulder level. We're going to bait out these punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to wait for him to hit the floor, throw the boomerang, and it's just going to do a whole bunch of damage to him on the way back. Then we're going to stand over here. We're going to bait out some more punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to wait for him to hit the flow, and boom, 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 and he's done. If your timing and positioning is right, that fight goes like that every single time. Which is really nice, because otherwise, if you're trying to fight that boss casually, it can be a real pain. So, the fact that we have a tried and true technique for defeating it quickly and safely is rather nice. So we use our wings again. That saves us about 1.5 minutes of backtracking. So while the wings aren't necessary, they're very convenient. Certainly if you're doing any PB attempts. If you don't have wings in places where you quote-unquote need them, then it's basically a reset. Alright, so this is going to be our only underwater section of the game, and it's really just going to be to get to the 5th crypt now. We've already got 4 down. We've got 8, like, full crypts that we will do in this game. Now, I was talking about the music in this game, and you've noticed that all of the crypts have had their own music to them. Well, you're going to notice that the music in this crypt not only is different, but it's also familiar if you've played the first game. And there's a very particular reason for that, which we will discuss when the time is right. Oh, hello. Whoops. Come on, there we go. Alright. These night enemies can be very annoying, because they like to shoot you, like, as you're attacking, and go right through your shield. There we go. Right, we don't want to take too much damage here, because we're going to take some damage boosts off of the boss, and you want to make sure that you can sustain them, so... yes, it is true that that the Neutopia games are an extremely powerful source of inspiration for not only video games, but many other things with which you might be familiar. Ooh, thank you. Nice. That is one... Oh, I only have 3 bombs. That's not good. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, good. Oh, actually, I did have full health. Whatever. Alright, that's okay. It's not this crypt, but the next one where my bomb count is going to be extremely crucial. Oh, I still didn't get any more. That's something worth keeping an eye on. All right. So here we go. This guy's chained up. The exception to this one is we don't have to bomb a room next to him. We just go into it. And in it, we are going to pick up the silver armor. Now we have our second full set of upgrades for sword, shield, and armor. Like I said, there's going to be one more set of upgrades after this, with the exception of the sword. There are actually kind of 2 upgrades. Whoops. I just want to get this guy out of my way, because again, I don't want to take damage, as I do, but I get my refund. Sweet. Alright. These water drop enemies, we're going to see plenty of them throughout the rest of the game. You can kind of bait the direction that they dive there and make dealing with them a lot easier. Hashtag don't touch me. See? Told you it was inspirational. Ah, beautiful. Pioneering in motion. Okay. Please somebody drop bombs. That'd be really sweet. Not money. Oh, thank you. Okay, good. That at least gives me some breathing room. Alright, so here we go. You might recognize this big slimy boy. This is the Kraken enemy that we saw at the very beginning of the game. That ate poor Daddy Dearest. 2 bumps, 2 throws of the boomerang, and it's done. Again, the power of the boomerang on full display. Now, the Kraken's going to do some psychedelic stuff, and then it's going to turn into our dad. And Dad's going to be like, whoa, where am I? Oh, that's right. I got eaten by this giant squid. Oh, that's right. And you're my son, too. All right, so here's the deal. I killed Dirth the first time around, or at least I thought so. He came back, and he's even more evil. I need you to stop him, because I am too weak to do so. So please, take my Sword of Legend, venture forth, finish the job that I could not, bring peace back to Neutopia, and if you don't mind, I'm going to take a nap. Alrighty, back to the shrine. The Urias shrine before. We went right to heal Princess Kea the first time, but now this guy's like, hey, sweet sword, why don't you come on in here? And this guy's like, hey, sweet sword, why don't you just jam it into this rock? And we're like, okay. And lo and behold, the wall behind it crumbles. No, he is not taking a nap. He has ceased to be. He dies. Rip Jezeta. F's in chat. Alright. Pop in here real quick to talk to Purple Road person. Get a refill. Get a checkpoint. And then venture forth. Alright. So we are heading up to crypt number 6. Crypt number 6 is a doozy. And there's actually just a decent amount of walking here to this crypt. So, host, if you have any donations, blurbs, fun stuff, please, by all means, hop on in here. Host.
I was getting everything pulled up again.
Gotcha.
We don't have any new donations. There are a couple of incentives that we could work towards still.
Okay.
We have the Dragon Warrior randomizer character choice, and also we have the Mickey Mouse paid system choice.
Cool. All right, so here we are in Crypt 6. This is without... Well, what am I doing? This is without question the longest crypt in the game. This will probably take me about 9 to 10 minutes to get through. During the course of this crypt, I'm going to need to use exactly 17 bombs to blow open all of the holes in walls that I need to. So, remember I was talking before about how I need those bomb drops? Carrying a bunch is really important. This is what I'm talking about. If I don't have the bombs I need, I am stuck. Like, quite literally, so... This is really the only place in the... Oh, sweet. There's one drop. This is really the only place in the run where I could be, like, legit nervous about having a marathon run need to be killed. But I got 2 drops right there, so before I can even really finish talking about how worrisome this is, I get bailed out, and I get wings. Oh, baby, the blessings are real. The RNG is just loving me right now, which is great, because it doesn't always do that. Alrighty.
So, with this crypt, there is a lot of soft lock potential then?
I wouldn't say a lot, but there is a non-zero chance that you can kind of... I wouldn't say soft lock either, but just basically you would have to go farm for bombs and waste, like, many, many minutes doing it, and that's just not something we want to see. So, but I mean, this crypt can absolutely kill PB attempts. No question. Alright, so we gotta wait for all these dagger blocks to retract, and now we're gonna come into a room that's got some enemies that we're gonna see throughout the rest of this run. We've got these big cloudy boys here. These guys are going to be the recipients of that flail, because as you can see, I can throw this bad boy in all 8 directions, like in a big old circle, split these all up, and make quick work of them. It also collects items, which is pretty neat. So, for these cloud enemies, the flail is a wonderful, wonderful way to lay waste to them in very rapid fashion. There we go. Alright, don't touch the saw blade, please. Thank you. So you're going to see this here where I'm kind of walking out in the clouds back and forth. So this is it is a 2 towers crypt where it's actually kind of a cool thing. You're going to see me walking back and forth between the 2 towers outside at various junctures. So it's just kind of a cool effect the way they do that. I always admire it. And as you can see here, just bombs after bombs after bombs to just get through where we need to be here. That is going to be a very constant theme in this crypt. We're going to wait for that. We definitely want to make sure that we've got enough HP for the boss. Yes, indeed. Shoutouts to the rainbow drop, its corresponding rainbow bridge, and all of my wonderful friends that appreciate that for reasons which should be obvious. Alrighty, I've got my wings. Like I said in the drop table thing before, these kind of floaty Grim Reaper enemies can drop wings, but you can only hold 1 at a time. In fact, I only need 1 for the rest of the run, so I don't even need to bother farming them. So we're good. We're gonna blow this open. You have just a couple frames there to drop that bomb close enough to the wall before that dagger block inevitably pushes you back, so... Ooh, I don't want that. Alright, so what the crystal does is it instantly kills everything in the room. Now, that's nice, but when you do that, the enemies don't drop anything when you kill them. So, if you are in need of bombs, like I am, then you'd rather forego that, which you're sacrificing saving some time to make sure that you're safe. I have 15 bombs now. We're probably about half-ish way through this crypt. So, I'm definitely safe for the rest of this crypt as far as my bomb count goes. Oops, hello. In the stairs, please. Much appreciated. Alright, see, we gotta... See, you step on the tile to make the spikes appear, and then step on them again to make them go away. Back to the flail here, because we've got the cloudy boys here. Oh... Now, one problem, and we're not going to encounter it here, it doesn't look like, is that if you pick up that hourglass item, which freezes all enemies in place for about, like, 20 seconds, if you do it when you have a cloud that is not in its smallest split state, you will not be able to kill it until the time runs out. So you can kind of lock yourself into place by grabbing an hourglass that you don't mean to, which is actually very easy to do because, like I said before, hitting a dropped item with the flail will pick it up. So there are many times where I will pick up an hourglass inadvertently and just basically I'm just sitting there staring at nothing, waiting for it to wear off. The other fun thing about enemies that are frozen in place with an hourglass is while they don't move, they can still deal damage to you if you touch them, so you still have to be careful. Alright, so now we have a departure from the norm, where instead of it being some old dude locked up in here, it is this young princess. And she said, yeah, Dirth is scared, but we can fight back. Take this flute. And that's pretty much it. And then we're just like, okay, bye. Is that close enough? It is not. Oops. Is that close enough? Yes. Okay, good. Sometimes they can be very particular with bomb placements, so...
So we're just gonna leave the princess there?
Oh, yeah, she'll be fine.
Typing.
We'll defeat the boss of this crypt, and then everything will be safe, and then she can just kind of... She can just find her own way out. We got bigger fish to fry right now. Alright, so this is the last floor of the crypt, so we're almost done with it. But there is a few more things we need to deal with. We're going to go in here. We're going to take a second here to just kill all these dragons, because we can kind of just push them up into the corner, and it's a great way to farm for bombs. And we got what we needed. Because we need a bomb there. We need a bomb there. We walk across here. Okay, yeah, we have to fight these Reaper enemies here. Oh, they drop wings too. Okay, so I don't need them because I already have them. But we've got to walk in here. Oops! We're going to make a quick detour to this room above. Because in here, we are going to pick up another potion. This is one of the rare single-use items that you can hold two of at once. Other ones like the ring, the wings, things like that, you can only hold one of at a time. But the potions we do too. With any luck, we will not use any potions at all until we get to the final boss. Assuming things go well. Alrighty, we are just about done with this crypt. We've only got this room here and then the boss to go. First, we gotta pile all these guys up, kill them. This is way more HP than we need to fight this boss, who's pretty simple. We just go here to the left, we just throw the boomerang at it, keep throwing the boomerang at it, stabby stab stab. Sure, we take one bump, but that's not a big deal. Boss done. So while that boss does have RNG, because we can just lay waste to it so quickly with the boomerang, it's really not a big deal. Alright, so now we have the Bell of Heaven, which we're going to use immediately once we get outside. Oh, no, it's XCS. It is the other way around. Wording is important. Now we have the Sun Flame. So now we can get on out of here. Alright. We're going to do some backtracking because we have a little stop that we need to make. Now that we have the Flute of Murdoch that was given to us by the princess prisoner, we can use it here. Yes, Hyperstrike and Lethlin do indeed have it correct. We give a little toot to the flute, and this big old ice golem pops out, and he says, "That meanie Dirth, he trapped me under this ice, so not cool. Here, take this medallion." This is one of 4 medallions we will need to collect. One of 4 medallions we will need to collect in order to open the way into the final crypt of the game, which will culminate in our confrontation with the aforementioned Dearth. So, we will grab 2 more in rather quick succession coming up here. And that is that's a pretty interesting section of the game. We've probably got a minute here. If you have any donations or anything important to talk about, you want to jump on in?
Sadly, no new donations.
What is happening?
The last one that we had was for the character name here.
Got it. So what I did there was I turned in my legendary sword that was given to me by Dad, and I also paired it with the Sun Flame that I got from finishing that last crypt. And we now have the Sun Sword. This is the final form for our sword. I also have already picked up the Golden Shield. Now, even though it is something we would obviously require for the 100% category, in order to get into the room with into the final floor of the last crypt with the final boss, you need to have the full upgrade of sword, shield, and armor. Ah, yes. Yes, chat. Meme for me. Do my dirty work. I love it. Oops, now I need that. I love y'all. You're great. Alright, so we pop on in here. This is going to be our final bomb capacity upgrade. This is not really anything that's terribly useful. Now I can hold up to 20 bombs. We are going to use well less than 20 bombs for the rest of the run. So the capacity upgrade really doesn't really do us a whole lot of good. Alright, so we gotta burn in here to talk to the scientist. Says, oh, you need to go head first into a volcano to defeat a evil salamander? Take this magic hand. That will allow you to get in there. I don't know why a magic hand is what's going to be the thing, but he's a scientist, so we believe him, right? I don't know. Alright, so final use of wings. Yes. Do not undermine the meme. That is frowned upon. Alrighty. So now we have a couple of medallions to collect that aren't going to be in like crypts in the traditional sense. They're basically just going to be boss fights. But there is a little spice that we have to deal with here. Specifically, these enemies here, these spear-throwing demons. These enemies are absolutely awful. I hate them passionately, and they can just really, really ruin a good time. Fortunately, they were kind of nice there, and just let me in. Alright, so here we go. So here's the salamander. We're just going to sit down here, throw a boomerang, throw another boomerang, stab it a bunch, and it's dead. Now, this just direct boss fight is pretty easy. This next one that we are going to be doing in just a minute here is going to be the polar opposite. Every time I do this run in a marathon, I always, like, straight up dread this section of the game because of this boss that I'm about to fight. So, I think I'll just explain it now. We are going to fight an enemy called Zorban. What Zorban will do is it will raise my blood pressure, but besides that, what it's going to do is it's either going to jump around the room or it's going to slide around the room. While it's jumping and shooting, I cannot do anything to it. It's only while it's sliding that I'll be able to do something. And what I'm able to do is split Zorban into even more Zorbans, which is terrifying but necessary. Especially because I am using a controller that is wonky on diagonals, and I need diagonals for this fight. I am going to go serious time, essentially. Okay. So, it's now doing its jumpy thing. I literally can't do anything to this boss. I need to wait for it to slide around. Now, when it does that, totally random. What happens is when it's sliding around, if I get to a point where I'm either directly above it or below it or to its side, it will stop sliding and it will start jumping. So my position, see, like you see, I passed above that one, and it stopped sliding and started jumping. I kind of had to, because otherwise I was going to be stuck in a corner. Now, fortunately, the little blobby guys here, we can kill these guys with our sword. Oh, I got the other one. I didn't even pay attention to that. Nice. All right, good. So this boss is basically done right about... hello? Now. Okay, good. Whew. All right. So that's Zorban. Zorban still sucks. Jumping and shooting. Hello?
Something
No.
I did notice was the boomerang is used quite a lot in this game.
Yeah, which is why we take the time to farm for that 300 gold in the very beginning of the game. Because guess what? In this next boss that I'm about to fight, very useful to have the boomerang. Now, here's the interesting thing about this run. That fight against Zorban is probably the most common place or part of this game where you would lose the boomerang, just because if there's a lot of those guys jumping around, shooting, doing all that stuff, you got stuff coming at you from all directions. It's very easy to get boosted out of the way of a return flight of the boomerang and have it just sail right past you. And you're literally powerless, like you're just watching it go by. It's a really sickening feeling. So, thankfully, we have the boomerang for this final boss. This is not where I want to be, but whatever. No, not this final boss, but the boss of this crypt, more like.
So if you do lose boomerang, you can go and buy it back, right?
Not at this point. There is no place where we're at now where you would be able to buy another one. So if you lose it after Zorban, you have to do the rest of the game without it. Alrighty, so this is crypt number 7 here. We have to be careful with the, because what just happened right there is if you get hit by their clubs, it freezes you in place for about 2 seconds. You kind of get like stunned. So, especially if you're on those conveyor belts, that's not a lot of fun. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? Just because I'm having issues with my diagonals, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to voluntarily use the wind staff. So you can kind of see what the wind staff does here. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but what it does do is create a lot of lag, which sucks. But I have to kill these guys. Oops, hello. I should drop that first. I have to kill those guys because it opens the door to the left, and that's what I need to get through. Yes, if you do not catch it, the boomerang that is, and it sails by you, it leaves your inventory. Alright, so we now have the gold armor. We now have all of the equipment, sword, shield, and armor that we need, not only for the 100% category of the speedrun, but also to get into the final floor of the final crypt so that we can fight the boss. If you don't have all the stuff, there's an old man there that says, no, I can't let you pass, you gotta go back and get the stuff. He's nice enough to tell you where the armor and the shield are, but there's other ways that you would figure out what to do with the sword. Alright, so now that Bell of Heaven item that I got before, we're going to start using this quite a bit. What it will do is, rooms where you would normally need to push a block in order to open a door, we're just going to ring the bell instead, and it's going to throw the door open. So, this is going to say... So instead of, like, going up there to push that block, I'm just going to ring the bell and just walk right on through. No big deal. No. Thank you. Oh, I'll take that. Here's where you want to get the crystal. I don't need drops from these guys. I just need them dead. So, dead they shall be instantly. Go on, go on. Okay. Oh, I could use some heart drops here. So, we're actually pretty close to the boss here. I'm going to be taking a ton of damage boosts from this boss. So, the more hearts that I have, the better. And these water drop enemies can drop them, like so, on cue. I love it. Alright, good. No, that is fine. You did hear the big barky boy in the background. That is my dog, Elliot. I do have another dog named Catalina. Those who are veterans of watching my stream are very familiar with the both of them. I have a regular feature on my stream where my puppy Catalina will come out and make an appearance and do a meet and greet, and it is always a fan favorite. Alright, so this is Sorfloyd. Sorfloyd kind of sucks because its movement is totally random, and I can only damage it when it opens up like that. Fortunately, I can do it from a distance with this boomerang. I just gotta wait for it to open up again. Should be right about now. There it is. Oh, throw it again. Do some more damage. Okay. This should hopefully just be one more cycle. If you have to do this with your sword, you take a lot more damage in the process, and it can be very dangerous. But we did that in basically 2.5 cycles, which is brilliant. Yeah, no MP in this game. You can use the Fire Wand, or the Fire Staff, the Wind Staff, even the Thunder Staff, as much as you would like. There is no limit to that. Alrighty, so we now have the 4th and final medallion in order to make our way into the final crypt, and that's what we're about to do. We're gonna make our way there. We're gonna dodge these very terrifying fire-breathing pharaoh enemies. You stick around long enough and there's this, like, beam of fire that comes out of their mouths, which is really not fun. Normally, the way down is how you would get to the final crypt, but we gotta make one more pit stop here. Whoops. To talk to this guy. He is going to give us another segment of life filled. With this, we have now satisfied all of the collection of items and upgrades and whatnot that we need to do for the 100% category. The only thing that's left to do is to defeat the final boss. And we will be in that crypt momentarily. Folks, I hope you've all been enjoying this game here. It is quite a treat. Being on the TurboGrafx 16, it is not very well known, especially to folks here in North America, so I hope you are really enjoying this here, because this is a really sweet game. Alrighty. Into the crypt we go. All 4 medallions in place. Alright, we get to fight these Reaper enemies in here. The layout for doing this in this room is extremely awkward, and that went insanely fast, so I am appreciative of that. Alrighty. Gotta make sure we push these guys in a particular direction so they don't go wandering around and making this very difficult. Okay, whoever designed this room was really dumb because they put it in such a place that I can't go up and stab these enemies. I have to wait for them to roll down to me. And because our sword is so powerful, it is easily the weapon of choice to kill them. Because the other stuff just takes so long. Same thing here. See, we've got 2 on this side of the blocks and 2 that aren't. But this guy's going to walk right up in here and let me kill it with the sword. Come on, buddy. Come here. Come on. You can do it. There you go. 2 and 3. Perfect. Ooh, good. I get a refund on my heart there. Thank you. Alrighty. One more bout with the cloud enemies. So this is the flail's last hurrah. Oh my god, I'm just taking all this damage that I don't really need to. Oops, that was greedy. Oh, that helps. Fortunately, the time stopper doesn't stop the saw blades. It just stops the actual enemies. Any environmental stuff in the game, so like turrets, fire blasters, saw blades, things like that, are undeterred by your hourglass. All right, so these flying squirrel enemies, we see them here in this crypt. These enemies are absolutely awful. I hate them. They're terrible. They're just a pain to deal with, and they're just... I don't like them. We will get our revenge on them in an extremely sweet way later on in this run. Or in this crypt, excuse me. Oh, jeez. Got a little too close to that saw blade there. Alrighty. Scoot on over here. Drop a bomb. Ooh, whoops. A little too close to that one. Alrighty. Now, we have more flying squirrels here. We're not going to get our revenge yet. We're just going to bomb our way through and just ignore the rest of them. Alright, now, remember how early on in the game I got a ring item and I really wanted it? See these flying squirrels here? Bam! Turn them into slimes, shove them against the wall, kill them super quick. Let's move on. That room is arguably the worst room in the game if you don't have a ring. They fly around. There's not a lot of space to work with. They fly around in there. All those spikes keep appearing. It's very easy to take a boatload of damage. But with the ring, we avoid all of that and save a bunch of time in the process. It's a win-win. Hello? Drop the bomb, please. Thank you so much. Alrighty, gotta get our obligatory key. We can now, along with our super duper awesome equipment, open the door to the final boss. I need the bell, thank you. Oh, that was close. Oh, that was close too. Okay. That should be good. Yeah.
I gotta say, the crypt design in this game is very, very nice.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, I'm obviously only showing you the portions that have to do... Oh my god. Hello? Hello? Okay. I'm only showing you the portions that have to do with the speedrun itself. There's lots of other stuff that I'm skipping that is pretty interesting as well, but alas, this is a speedrun, so... Do what we need to do here. Very important to keep these guys to my right, which I unfortunately failed to do. Please die, though. Okay, good. All right. If not, then I keep stepping on that plate there, which throws out the darts and just makes that room really difficult to deal with without taking damage. We are going to be taking an immense amount of damage on the final boss. Now, we have 2 potions to help us mitigate this, but you'd still like to go in with as much as possible. So... dang. Just gonna go ahead and drop 2. It's all right. I don't need any more beyond this, so we are good. All right, so here is the gatekeeper. He says, yo, did you have all the stuff? Oh, you do? Okay, you can go on. Yo, .phase, what's up? Alrighty, so a couple more rooms to deal with here. Oh, nice, getting a pretty decent pattern there. Make these guys easy to deal with. Every single block in this room, with the exception of one, is one of those dagger blocks. You just have to be very... Oh, good, I got another ring. You just have to be very sensitive about where you're going. Alrighty. Alright, so here we go. Final boss time. This is Dearth. He's big and evil and very scary. As you can see by this big golden sword that he's got on his belt. So you think he's going to use this to kick your butt, right? No. He's going to steal your 3 staves and use those against you. The music in here slaps, by the way. Time will be on the final hit of the boss. So it can throw out fire, wind, or lightning. We want to see lightning as much as possible. Reason being is that for whatever reason, when it throws out lightning, he reappears faster for his next cycle. I don't know why it is, but see here, he reappears pretty much instantly, where he doesn't do that with the others. We should be getting pretty close, actually. That was it. Time. Alrighty. So Dearth has been defeated. There's a very convenient caving in of the ceiling that piles a bunch of rocks on him. In goes the Sword of Legend. The crystals light up, or the medallions light up, and what do we have? We have the Spirit of Dad. And he says, son, good job. For your reward, I am going to infuse you with my spirit, and you get to go take a victory lap around Neutopia, tell everyone how awesome a job you did, and GG, son. And there it is. That is Neutopia 2, 100% for the TurboGrafx 16. Alrighty, so, yeah. So anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed that. I want to give a big shout out to the folks at SpeedGaming Live. Thank you so much for having us here. Thank you so much for having Retro Gaming Live TV be a part of it. I'm proud to be a part of this group and to do this block here. This was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed what you were watching here, if you enjoyed this game or whatnot, please do give me a follow. I would greatly appreciate that. I play games like this on my channel all the time and have a lot of fun with speedrunning them, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Coming up next, I believe, we have my dear friend, the incomparable Sparkover. She's going to be doing a Dragon Warrior randomizer, if I'm not mistaken. That's a lot of fun, so please be sure to check that out. But again, my name is Vonnie Vaughn. Thanks so much for having me here and for watching. I hope to see all of you around soon, and until I do, take care, everyone.